High above the blue serenity of Earth, an invisible storm brews. Not of clouds, but of metal. Thousands of broken satellites, rocket fragments, and bolts smaller than a thumbnail orbit at lethal speeds. Every piece, no matter how small, carries the energy of a bomb when traveling at 17,000 miles per hour. Space, once humanity's greatest frontier of exploration, has become a junkyard without gravity's mercy. What began as a symbol of human advancement has quietly transformed into one of our most dangerous creations. The first spark of space junk was born during the Cold War. When Sputnik 1 was launched in 1957, it marked not only the dawn of space exploration, but also the beginning of space pollution. Each test rocket, defunct satellite, and exploded stage left behind remnants that no one thought to clean. For decades, space agencies raced for dominance, not sustainability. Old boosters, abandoned satellites, and even lost astronaut tools all began circling Earth endlessly, forming a metallic halo of waste. In 1978, NASA scientist Donald Kessler warned of a terrifying chain reaction, a scenario where debris collisions create more debris, spiraling out of control. This became known as Kessler Syndrome. Imagine one satellite hit by a fragment. It shatters into hundreds of pieces, each capable of destroying more satellites. Eventually, space could become so congested and dangerous that humanity would be trapped under a canopy of its own chaos, unable to safely send missions into orbit. Today, that prediction no longer feels like science fiction. It's knocking at our door. The U.S. Space Surveillance Network monitors over 30,000 objects larger than a baseball, but millions of smaller fragments remain invisible to radar. These are the true assassins of orbit. Unpredictable, fast, and impossible to dodge. Engineers designed spacecraft with shields to withstand micrometeoroids, but human-made debris poses an entirely different threat. A 1-centimeter fragment could puncture the International Space Station. Astronauts who once gazed at Earth in wonder now live with an invisible menace hurtling around them every 90 minutes. In 2009, the unthinkable happened. An active communications satellite, Iridium-33, collided with a defunct Russian satellite, Cosmos 2251. The crash produced over 2,000 trackable fragments, a cosmic car crash that shook the space community. The event wasn't isolated. Similar near misses occur regularly. Even a single collision can render entire orbital paths hazardous for decades. These accidents serve as stark reminders that the problem isn't hypothetical. The age of random collisions has already begun. Every mission to space now carries risk, not from nature, but from our negligence. Spacewalks are carefully timed to avoid debris clouds. Launch windows must be calculated around known fragments. Each astronaut on the ISS knows that one small impact could spell disaster, but the cost extends beyond astronauts. Communication networks, GPS systems, weather monitoring, and global banking all rely on satellites that orbit in the same crowded highways. Space debris isn't just an orbital problem, it's a threat to the infrastructure of modern civilization. As awareness grows, new ideas are emerging to clean up orbit. Nations and private companies are testing debris removal technologies: nets, harpoons, lasers, and magnetic tethers. The European Space Agency's Clear Space 1 mission aims to capture and deorbit space junk, while Japan experiments with electrodynamic tethers to drag debris down to burn in the atmosphere. It's a high-stakes race to prevent disaster, and the world is watching to see if innovation can undo decades of negligence. Who owns space junk? Who's responsible for cleaning it up? International law is murky. The Outer Space Treaty of 1967 forbids nations from claiming celestial territory, but says little about cleaning their mess. Each country owns its debris, even if it poses a global threat. This legal tangle complicates international cooperation. If one nation removes another's defunct satellite, is it cleanup or sabotage? The question reveals a deeper truth. Space ethics lag far behind space technology. The new generation of space companies like SpaceX and OneWeb are aware of the growing crisis. They now build satellites designed to deorbit themselves after their mission ends. Artificial intelligence and automation track debris more accurately than ever. There's hope that humanity has learned from its mistakes. that this generation of explorers will build not just for the future, but with the future in mind. Slowly, the narrative is shifting from conquest to conservation. Look up on a clear night. The stars we see may one day fade behind the haze of our own debris, but the story isn't over yet. Humanity has always cleaned the mess it's made. Eventually, space debris is our newest mirror, reflecting both the brilliance and blindness of human ambition. Whether we choose to act or ignore the growing cloud above will define not only our technological destiny, but our moral one. The sky has always been humanity's canvas. Now it's up to us to decide if it remains a symbol of dreams or becomes a warning written in orbit.